Thanks for staying with us. Recently, workers under the auspices of the Nigeria Labour Congress converged at Ikeja on the bridge in Lagos on Wednesday, August 2nd, demanding the implementation of a national minimum wage of 200,000 naira. The workers expressed their concerns over the soaring cost of living, highlighting the devastating impact of hunger and deprivation on ordinary citizens. Joining us on the show right now is a senior lecturer, Department of Economics, University of Lagos, Monetary and Industrial Economist, a mathematician and a statistician as well, Dr. Babatope Oguniyi. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
So, before we go into this issue of what labor is demanding, we discuss this issue of minimum wage all the time, and in the events of what's happening in Nigeria today, lots of people obviously are frustrated because of their inability to survive this new policy that the Nigerians are going through. In your view, how do you think that the country, how do you think the federal government can actually help to alleviate some of these issues that Labour is raising concerning minimum wage?
Yeah, thank you. I want to say that from the beginning, we encourage state operators to look at things in a way to really help all and sundry. But sometimes our opinion may not really give the needed approach on the part of the unions and on the part of the government. In some countries, it is expected that, look, the high rise of things will require that the government will have to revisit the pay packet. But then, at times, you see that when basic things are put in place, salary increase is not the solution to, to living well. Basic things, if they are there, if there's like good roads, energy supply, and all what have you, if they are in place, you will realize that the effect, the value of the little income being taken will be there. But when an ordinary person, an individual, is the local government, of his own household, then it becomes a problem where you generate light yourself, you generate water, or what have you. So these are the reasons why, in my own view, I know that for sure agitating for salary increase may not be the overall solution. And there are other issues that we will want to mention.
Right. Okay. Right. So the Labour Union is agitating for 200,000, for the minimum wage to be increased to 200,000 naira. So do you think that this is feasible, or it's just an anchor price, giving room for negotiations, such that when the government now starts negotiating, it comes down to the desired wage that they want? Yeah,
truly, you have said it, and it's not attainable under this present condition, considering the large, civil service budget and all the rest. 200,000 to us today, if you look at the content and the value, it means nothing. By the time you run your daily distance, moving from Ojota to Yaba, if you have to run that trip 20 days in a month, the whole 200 naira is used up. Are you with me? But what we are saying is that, the government cannot afford it. And even the 30,000 that was, this thing last year, I'm not sure if some of the states, are
implementing it.
In fact, they can't. And that's the problem. So it's not attainable and it's not feasible.
So, concerning subsidy removal, at first, a lot of people thought it would just be a, we all agree it should go. There's so much money spent there anyway. But since the removal, Nigerians have been facing economic crisis that has come as a consequence of it. So looking at it, in your opinion, what do you think we should have done differently? Should it have been kept? Or is the best thing that we've done now is taking it out? And now that it's out, what have we done wrong? What can we do better to reduce the hardship on Nigerians?
Yeah, thank you, ma. I think what we are seeing today is similar to what has been in operation over the years. It's not possible for the state operators to just come up with a solution. They will only come up with palliative. And when you say palliative, it's just like reading from the mind of medical practitioners. They say the real disease is not what they can heal immediately. They look at the basic symptoms and now face it. In that wise, you will see that government will still have to go a long way. It's not something that that could be done instantaneously. It's not what can be done immediately. It is a product of time. Removing subsidy is the best. And in my own opinion, it's still the best. Because the effect, I mean, those enjoying it are the, some set of people. It did not trickle down. But we made one mistake, or maybe the government should put some things in place before removing the... A good example is this transport services all over the country. We need it. There must, all over the world, go to Europe, go to America. You see government vehicle plying the roads and at a subsidized rate. And this will help the people. And as such, people will not feel the immediate impact as we are feeling it today. And this had actually caused a lot of inflation.
Okay.
So I listened to you, and I'll take you back to your first comment when we were starting this, which is that it is not a salary increase solution. It is about providing the core needs of Nigerians, because even if the government accepts what Labour is requesting for, which is increase in salary, Labour doesn't constitute majority of the workforce. Majority of Nigerians are not earning that salary, and they cannot get that increase, whichever way it happens. So in short-term palliative solution, what would you say are the key areas the government should address? Do you feel like the palliative the president reeled out in his former address already addresses the core needs of Nigerians, or do you think there's another approach you should have taken, and what would you advise?
Yeah. I want to say sincerely that palliative is a short-term, balm to cushion the effect. And it's not something that government can continue over the years. We must come to the realization of the fact that now, we have to address some things. If government had removed subsidy, we have to readdress some things in our own life. If some meetings or journeys are not important, people will have to readdress it. And it's coming to that. When you see the consumption, fuel consumption within the past 1 month, it has, gone down because people are now able to readjust in a way. And a situation like that will extend to the common people in a way. Because, for instance, if I have a meeting in my workplace and good enough, we're beginning to see a situation where, visual means are now being adopted mostly. Because you cannot reach out to every meeting at all times because of the cost. So the same thing goes for everything we do. And in terms of our social life, we have to cut down on some excesses. Not every Asoebi will have to, you know, be accepted from friends and relations. And not, you know, the type of schools that our children will have to. In those days, you go to government school. But now, if you cannot afford a private school, you go to public school and live within your environment. Yes, you live within your environment. If you are living in Ojota and your child is schooling at Lekki, it's abnormal. It will just blow up your budget, and which is not necessary.
Okay, let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.